Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I'm back with another little short video giving you some news you can use concerning the heavyweight division. All right. So Eddie Hearn has came out and stated that there's a possibility that Dillian Whyte can be on this upcoming Anthony Joshua Andrew Ruiz rematch that's taking place in Saudi Arabia, highly anticipated rematch, may I add, based on the outcome of the first fight. Okay. Now, this fight between Whyte and Wach was supposed to take place a couple years ago. All right, so the fight didn't take place. But let me get to this before I get to what I think about this fight and this card. All right. Uh, First of all, what happened with the B sample concerning Dillian Whyte? That's number one. And number two, the glove situation just really never been addressed. If it has been addressed and if that B sample was found, please leave it in the comment section. Leave me the link so I can catch up on the news and inform myself because I haven't heard anything about it. It's almost like it got swept under the rug. Okay. Team Rivas said that they did not get to see Dillian Whyte try on the gloves and get a thorough inspection of him trying on the gloves. He did not wear those same gloves in the ring. All right. So to me, man, that is ridiculous in itself. All right. But if they're going to throw Dillian Whyte in there and he's going to fight Mariusz Wach, I will say this, that Eddie Hearn kind of reminds me of Don King with the way he sets up his heavyweight cards. In the 80s and 90s, Don King would always pack the card full of heavyweights. It wasn't nothing to see Carla Truth Williams, Witherspoon, Frank Bruno, Mike Tyson, Weaver, Dokes, all these guys on one card. You know what I mean? So Eddie Hearn kind of does that in his own little way. With this card, you have the main event, obviously, with Joshua Ruiz. And then you got Michael Hunter versus Povetkin. You also got Filip Hrgovic taking on Eric Molina, and then are possibly trying to get Whyte versus Wach. So for me as a heavyweight fan, excellent card for me. You dig what I'm saying? I know some of the card or some of the fights look kind of one-sided. I think that Hunter versus Povetkin is going to be a very entertaining fight. On paper, it looks like Hrgovic versus Molina at this stage can possibly be a one-sided fight. Molina does have a puncher's chance. He is in there to fight. He won't give up, and he does have a good left hook, but he's getting long in the tooth, and on paper, he's going to be the underdog going into the fight. All right, doesn't mean, we have to see what happens on fight night, but he is the underdog on paper. And then this fight right here between Whyte and Wach, Whyte will be the big favorite. Wach has fought, this will be his third fight of the year. He fought two journeyman level fighters this year. He's coming off, before those two victories, he had lost 3 in a row, lost to Jarrell Miller, lost to Spilka, and then he got stopped by Martin Bacolia Lunga. Okay. Wach had a title shot, was that 2012 or 11? I forget, either 11 or 12 against Vladimir Klitschko when he was an up and coming undefeated contender. I think his best, in my opinion, Wach's best win was beating Christian Hammer when Hammer was early in his career. He actually knocked Christian Hammer out with a vicious right hand, probably the hardest punch I've seen Mariusz Wach throw. And then he went to 12 with Klitschko, okay? But he's a slow starter. And in his last 2 fights, which were victories over journeymen, he came in at his career highs in the 280s. When he was back in his prime years, he was like between 245-ish to 250, started getting up to the 260 mark. As he aged, he's a couple weeks away from 40. But the 280s is extremely high. He is 6'7" with an 82-inch reach. He's going to have the reach and height advantage on Dillian Whyte. But right now, Dillian Whyte has the hand speed. He's been beating and fighting tougher opponents. I think he's possibly the harder puncher. But Mariusz Wach is still a big guy with some heavy hands. Okay, I thought this kind of resembles Whyte when he was getting ready to fight Robert Helenius. All right, and Helenius was able to hurt Whyte with a good shot in that fight. All right, but Mariusz Wach is the put the high guard up type, likes to plow forward as a big man. He'll pump out his jab. He can pump a lazy jab out at times. I see Dillian Whyte coming over the top. I see Dillian Whyte beating him to the jab and beating him to the punch and outworking him on the inside. All right. He's a big target, so Dillian Whyte's going to have a huge opportunity to always land on Mariusz Wach, whether it's to the body, on the arms, on the shoulders. He's just a big, huge target, man, and he doesn't move really fast. All right, but if Wach can find a way to establish a jab and use his reach and try to catch Dillian Whyte on the way in with a big right hand, anything can happen in this fight. But I expect Dillian Whyte, if this fight takes place, to win this fight. Try to do it impressively. If you can't, man, don't try to push for the knockout looking bad. You know what I mean? Just get the points and worry about looking great in your next fight, okay? But that's pretty much it concerning this fight, man. If this fight is to take place, who do you think wins this fight? How do you think the fight is going to go down? I think that Dillian Whyte will be able to find a home for his left hook, man, because like I said, he's going to have to try to punch through the guard and open up Mariusz Wach's guard, and then try to find, a home for that left hook out of a combination. You know what I mean? Not just wing and left hook, but actually throw the 1-2-3 or the 1-2-3-4, end it with the left hooks and find openings to get in on Mariusz Wach. He's a slow starter, man. So Dillian Whyte should try to press the pace right from the get-go. All right. But that's just my quick opinion on this fight possibly happening. Dillian Whyte versus Mariusz Wach. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm gone.